So it's Thursday today, and that's Bingo Dabber, before anyone asks. Today we went to Quex Park, and it is actually pronounced Quex, and I'll tell you why I know that. And Quex Park is literally 5 minutes away in a car from the holiday park we're staying at. If you were to walk there, it would probably take you about half an hour, but obviously we drove there. It took us 5 minutes. It's really good, actually. I wholly recommend it. There's lots of cool things there. It's a massive open ground sort of thing, and there is a stately home with a museum, a couple of coffee shops, restaurants sort of thing, craft type places where people make things, carve things, pottery and all that, jewellery, artisan crafts and all that. I mean, it's all mega expensive, but you know, someone might like it. With a farm shop and fishmongers and butchers and all that sort of thing. Right at the back, unfortunately, it was all closed because it's only really open in the summer and it's April. Really disappointing because you could have fed alpacas. I fed alpacas before at a place called Monk Park Farm, and alpacas' lips are the softest, most beautiful things in the world, but we couldn't feed the alpacas because it was closed. But apparently there's also a laser quasar. There was a thing called Build-A-Base, which sounds like you can build things out of giant Lego and you can book it for kids' parties. So it might be something to consider if you live in Kent and you need somewhere to go for a kids' party. So all of that was closed off, but I had a lot of fun in the museum. Now, I will put a disclaimer here. If you're an animal lover, maybe a little bit of a sensitive disposition, you're about to see some taxidermy, I'm afraid. So there was this dude, Major Powell Cotton. It's called the Powell Cotton Museum. And in the 20s, I think it was, he went on tours all over Africa and Asia, and he was an anthropologist, and he shot a lot of animals and had them stuffed, and I mean a lot of animals. There were about 8 galleries in total, and I swear about 4 of them were just taxidermy. In addition to the massive stuffed deers, giraffes, elephants, tigers, lions, birds, reptiles, bovines. I swear there was literally everything you could imagine. There was also a big room of stuffed heads. There must have been at least 50 just skulls of deer, antelope, bison. There were massive tusks from elephants, rhinos, that sort of thing. There were skulls, chimp skulls, teeth and claws, and just pretty much everything scavenged from animals. And I'll make this clear, I am anti-hunting. I believe if you're going to hunt legally, you should eat what you kill. In this country, I think it's cool that the waste products from animals that we don't eat will be turned into pet food, or they will be sent to rendering plants, and nothing gets wasted. We'll use feathers from ducks for pillows and bedding. We will use skin from cows for leather. We will use bones for dogs. We'll use the offal for cat and dog food, and the rest of it we will eat. But people who just go around and shoot lions or shoot giraffes or rhinos or anything like that, and are just doing it for the fun of it, you are a sociopath who doesn't kill people, I'm afraid. But when Major Cotton Powell was doing these things, it was the 1920s, and he got away with it. And as a result, I got to see a taxidermy tiger up close, very close. One of the more cool exhibits in there was a mannequin, and it was wearing one of Major Powell Cotton's hunting outfits, and all the back was torn because he'd been attacked by a lion. He managed to kill this lion, and the lion then got stuffed, and you could see this lion, and it was on display in the room next to the shredded uniform. I don't know, I find all this stuff really cool. But in addition to all of the taxidermy, there was a lot of traditional jewellery, clothing, pottery, artefacts, weaponry from mainly African countries, but there was also a lot of Asian pottery, mainly from Japan, China, India. There was a lot of spears, flintlock pistols, muskets, rifles. I mean, this place had so much stuff, they had run out of space on the walls and in the cabinets and had started mounting things on the ceiling. I would not like to have been in there if there was an earthquake, because you would have got attacked by not just like deer skulls and taxidermy, but guns and spears, and there were boats in one room hanging off the ceiling. It was surprisingly cheap to get in, actually. I think it was about £7, and for that you got to see the museum. You also got to go around the gardens. It wasn't really a great deal there. There was a big rule saying don't be teasing the peacocks. I only saw one peacock, and it was up on a balcony. I don't know what it was doing up there, but it was up on a balcony. There was lots of tulips and fountains, water features, benches, all that sort of thing. You know, if you like gardens, fair enough. One of the owners of the stately home also collected cannons, so there was a lot of cannons in the grounds. Some of them were quite, what's the word, patinaed, like green. There was also some very like modern looking ones as well that had all been like cleaned out. So there was lots of cannons. Inside the stately home itself, we had the same sort of treatment that we got at Leeds Castle, because again, grade listed building, you can't put a wheelchair lift in it. So I stayed with Nana and we watched another video tour and that was pretty entertaining. Again, it was of the same quality. They were very attentive, very very considerate, very kind. Made us feel, you know, didn't make us feel like we were putting them out or anything. And the stately home was like wooden carved chairs and things, you know, the sort of thing that would be an absolute nightmare to dust. Wood paneling walls, tapestries, paintings, fancy things, obviously. If you like that sort of thing, it was okay, but I preferred the museum. We only really spent half a day there because my cousin lives in, where did she say it was? Ockington, so I think it's only about 45 minutes, an hour drive away from here. She's in the Met. She's a police officer, and she come to the holiday park to see us and to see Nala, and she brought 2 kids. We went over to the bar, and we had a meal, and as it was the last night, I thought, sod it, I will play bingo, hence why I've got dabba dots on my hand. And I'm fuming because I swear I was 2 numbers away from a full house on the final bingo card, where if you won that one, if you got a full house on that one, you could have won like £300, because it was a link up with all the other holiday parks. Some twat in Dorset won it. Not impressed at all. We also went to Herne Bay, which was a very small, like, seafront sort of thing, you know, fish and chips, amusement arcades, that sort of thing. It was pretty cool. I spied a few very interesting machines in there. There was a Mario Kart machine. There was another sort of Pac-Man air hockey type thing. There was Pokemon Go 2p pusher machines. I actually put pounds worth of bloody 2p into that thing because they had little about that big plush Pikachu keyrings, and I wanted to win one and I didn't, so I'm annoyed. There was that. What was the other thing? Oh, Giant Space Invaders. It's like a massive screen, massive arcade sticks. Didn't have a go of it, but I watched someone else playing it. It looked pretty cool. There was also the crane grabber type machines, and I spied some Five Nights at Freddy's plushes in there, and I thought, ooh, I really want to get one of those. And I sort of casually mentioned it to my mum, and she had to go, and she failed. And then my dad was like, I can do that. And he totally did. He won me this. He won me a chicha. And it's lovely. And I think I'm going to keep it out, and I might use it as a pillow going home tomorrow in the car. And I may try and sleep on the way home. But I think in total it was 20p a go, and I think they only put in about £2.80 and managed to win it. And I've looked these up, and they're like a tenner online. It's a pretty big fluffy thing. It's officially licensed and all this sort of thing. So I got chicha, which is nice. I bought a couple of things from the museum gift shop. Very, very surprisingly cheap for a gift shop. I bought a present for Shelley, but I can't show you it because I've already put it away. But I can show you this I bought for myself. It is a glass tiger. It's lovely. I mean, this was only about £3, and it's like proper little intricate-y sort of thing. Nice. I'm going to put it on the mantelpiece in the living room. And I spied this, a tiger. He was only a couple of quid as well. I just had to buy him because he's so cute and he's very, very soft and fluffy. I have a massive tiger that's like 3/4 of the size of me, so he can be a friend for him. I got some of these fruity caramels. I don't know why they're called caramels because they're not even remotely caramel flavoured at all. And they're all falling out everywhere. I've ripped the bag because I'm an idiot. These little things. Absolutely love them, and you can't find them anywhere. So as soon as I spied those, I had to get them. And I've drank so much of this Fentamin stuff while I'm down here. I had to get Curiosity Cola. I'm not going to try it now because it's just shy of midnight and I need to get up in the morning, and I don't really need to be buzzing off my tits on sugar. I've decided I may do like a little addendum sort of, maybe additional sort of vlog when I get back, and taste this and some other things I'm about to show you. So yeah, Curiosity Cola. I reckon this is just going to be like ordinary cola, because looking at the ingredients it looks near identical to the cherry cola minus the cherry flavour. I see you sneaking in a fermented ginger root extract. Friggin' hate ginger. I was drinking it thinking I can taste ginger. I don't like ginger. I don't know what makes these any different from crisps you would get in any other part of the country, but I've got Kent crisps. Specifically, Kent Crisps Ashmore cheese and onion flavour, as you do. Oh, and they have a Twitter account at Kent Crisps. Gluten-free, MSG-free, suitable for vegetarians, all that sort of thing. Okay. I'm not sure where that is on the front. I'm going to assume it's Ashmore, judging by the name. And this, I just had to buy this, and I'm sure you'll understand why. In the farm shop, they sold moulded sweets and moulded chocolate things, and I bought myself a chocolate starfish. Because who doesn't want to lick a chocolate starfish? I am rather partial to a chocolate starfish, whenever I can get one. I like how, to avoid the obvious joke, on the back it says starfish chocolate lollipop. They have really danced around the point there, haven't they? I think I'll leave you with that image.